Hi, cities. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Same as Naya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are great. So I came across this video of a black young man who is, looking at him, he looks really like, someone very bright and all that. But sometimes when you think people are bright, they are on the opposite side. What's an opposite? They are not even bright at all. I mean, their brains really need to be reset because what am I saying? So now let me tell us something. I do not have problem with people's political view because we can have different political view and still have conversation, right? And but where I have problem is where black people, a black person starts stereotyping a black person the way other people stereotype black people. That is where I have problem. And you cannot stereotype black people right in front of me and go scot-free because that is it is a no-no. Some people already feel like proximity to whiteness already makes them white. Maybe when you are married to a white woman and all that, it is okay. And I also do not have problem with people getting married to white women, right? But where I have problem is when you come on the internet and show us the reason why you did that, right? Saying that black people are telling us that we are senseless and we are commit a proportional amount of crime and all that. Some people are really weird, and this particular one is another breed of weirdness. Let's get into this video.
Does this piss you off? Because do you want to know what pisses me off? The fact that my ancestors fought way too hard for black people to be allowed to learn how to read, just for y'all to expect me to be uneducated enough to support Kamala Harris for the sole reason that y'all claim she's black. Kamala Harris could be as dark as a P. Diddy party, and I still wouldn't vote for that godless she-devil. The Democrats are the reason that so many black boys are illiterate. The Democrats are the reason that so many black communities are ridden with poverty. The Democrats are the reason that black people are begging from handouts from massive government. And the Democrats are the reason that so many black people are wanting black-only spaces, aka segregation. It's as if the Democrats are trying to bring back slavery and Jim Crow, considering they were the party that was in favor of those two eras in the first place. Yet, y'all are so brainwashed by Democratic propaganda that you call me a sellout because I don't buy into the narrative that the Democrats own me and my unwavering loyalty simply because of my skin color. There is no self-hatred in my body because I am proud to be a black American, so much so that I am going to vote this November for the man who almost lost his life twice to fight for my country and to fight for my home. And that man is Donald Jaquan Trump. And notice I didn't stutter. Does this piss you off? Because do you want to know what pisses me off? The fact that
First of all, do me a favor. Keep our ancestors out of your mouth, okay? Keep our ancestors out of your mouth. How about you do that? And secondly, no, it doesn't piss me off at all because it's stupid as shit. You're wearing a shirt that says never surrender with Trump's mugshot on it, meaning he surrendered. You understand that? The shirt in and of itself is oxymoronic. Saying never surrender while surrendering for a mugshot means you did surrender. And as far as your little funky ass hat, who gives a shit? Oh, they come in white. Oh, who gives a fuck? No, it doesn't piss me off. What pisses me off is you want attention. You want it. So here's the thing. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. The ancestors you want to talk about are already ashamed of you. I can already tell you. Don't even worry about it. They're already ashamed. Already. Do you understand? 80 years ago, Donald Trump would have been he would have been the person over people's sharecropping. And he would have made goddamn sure not to pay those people. Those are your fucking ancestors. But I think you've forgotten about them, so fuck them, right? Just go back to bed. Just go back to bed. This is the Titanic. It has already hit the icebergs, and you're not going to make it to a life raft. So just go back to bed. Just go back to bed. You'll wake up someplace other than here. Take your ass back to bed. They don't like you. They like your vote. And here you are proclaiming some shit nobody really gives a fuck about at this point. We're about 18, 19 days away from this fucking election. Vote for the man, don't vote for the man, I don't care. But this declaration of Negrohood in solidarity with Donald Trump is starting to get on my motherfucking nerves because you are doing something that nobody gives a fuck about. Do you understand that? You are not special. You think you're the first black motherfucker walking around here with a goddamn Trump shirt on? Or a black MAGA? Do you think you're the first? What do you want, a cookie? All they got is oatmeal raisin and they're stale. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. But stop bringing up our fucking ancestors. Stop it. Fucking stop it. Because you were rooting for motherfuckers that would have made goddamn sure your silly ass would have been out there sharecropping for 13 cents a fucking pound. And you wouldn't have even got 13 cents. You'd have got 7. You're not voting for this man for any other reason other than the fact of what you think you can get out of it. You're not thinking about our ancestors. You're not thinking about our community. You're thinking about your goddamn self. So take your selfish ass back to bed. We good over here, dog. We are getting on the life rafts. You think Project 2025 gives a fuck about you? Do you? Do you think Agenda 47 has anything in it for you specifically? No, it doesn't. But if you want to play this game, play it. I hope you enjoy all the Popeyes biscuits with no water you can get down your gullet. I don't care. But do us a favor. Do it quietly. Nobody gives a shit. You over there looking like the odd man out. On a ship that's already hit an iceberg and is currently sinking. So I tell you what, stay over there. Stay over there with that sinking ass party and that fucking presidential candidate. They keep fucking letting hijack their shit. You're not special. That ship has sailed. You were trying to tread a ground that Candace Owens, Rob Smith, and the rest of those fucking sellout ass motherfuckers have already put in place. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Take your monk ass on. Do you think you're special? You're not. You're not the first black MAGA. I really wish you would be the last, but you won't. So go over there. Enjoy those dry ass Popeyes biscuits as you take your ass back to bed while that whole fucking political party sinks. Good luck with that.
A lot of white people who feel guilty about slavery really need to humble themselves because, respectfully, many of you come from a long lineage of broke people of poverty who couldn't even afford a slave if they wanted to. In fact, roughly 75% of Southern white people during the peak of American slavery did not own slaves, meaning while the North was without slavery, about 25% of Southern white families had slaves, and most of them maybe had 1 or 2 slaves, while the massive plantations held majority of the slaves. This is just another reason why when white people talk about white privilege, it's really disrespectful because white supremacy inherently means black inferiority. And the privileges that you will find in a country like America typically comes from money, not the color of your skin. So please disembolden the nerve that you have to assume that your ancestors could even afford to own mine. Your ancestors were free and still broke. Being white sounds stressful as hell. Now walk with me. White people were out there marching with Black Lives Matter just to have their homes and businesses destroyed that night by the same people they marched with. But what makes it even crazier is that if you spoke out about it, you were canceled faster than CNN Plus. And the rules for white people change every single day. If you see color, you're racist. If you don't see color, you're ignoring racism, which is somehow still racist. And then you're told to embrace other cultures, but don't participate or it's cultural appropriation. And it's sad because we have more in common than we don't. Black people love Bass Pro Shop and pumpkin spice lattes too. Maybe y'all need a civil rights movement next. Can the black people of Los Angeles please stop stealing? Because I just got racially profiled at a Nordstrom and I can't even be fully mad at the sales rep because y'all are committing a disproportionate amount of crime. Every time I see a video of a Nordstrom getting robbed, who is it? What do they look like? Niggas.
Should men be making decisions about women's health?
I think so, absolutely. Why not?
Like on behalf of?
Yeah.
Who are you voting for?
I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm still not sure of who I'm voting for. I'm trying to figure it out because I really don't know. If I asked you to name the top 3 Kamala Harris accomplishments, what would you say?
Yes, okay, the American Rescue Plan, the PACT Act, Chips and Science Act. She negotiated with Mexico to secure their border so that people aren't continuously coming through and seeking asylum. She's had the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president. She's the reason we have infrastructure, Inflation Reduction Act. $500 billion was invested in fighting climate change, creating a climate industry. People think in terms of jobs. The oil and gas industry does not bring a lot of jobs to the area. Green energy, that brings jobs. She wants to help her some home buyers own a home, do something about inflation.
Child credit tax, your first time having a child, she'll give you
tax,
child
boom.
Invest in HBCUs, I think that's really good.
Biden had record investment in HBCUs. Trump invested less in HBCUs than Obama. He invested less than Biden. You can talk to people that are MAGA, they'll talk about his opportunity zones because they talk about investment in black neighborhoods. The opportunity zones had no guardrails. It was a giveaway to luxury real estate developers.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. That's why I haven't done early voting yet. But I do think everyone should early vote.
Kamala wants to tax people that are worth $100 million.
And you feel like they should pay a little bit more.
If you have $100 million, I care how little you're paying in taxes. I don't care how much you're paying in taxes.
I'm learning so much.
You know what? People that are worth $100 million, I think they're going to be okay.
I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm still not sure of who I'm voting.
And it was at that point where I scrolled on. Not from Walter Masterson. I love Walter Masterson. But from the person that he's speaking with. Because I can't take you seriously if you are an undecided voter at this late stage of the game after seeing all that we have seen, after watching Donald Trump disrespect and denigrate people of color, after watching how women are dying as a result of what Donald Trump did in his first presidency, after hearing and learning about Project 2025 and what his plans are for the future. If you are still undecided, I cannot take you seriously, and I will block and scroll.
To any of the leftists trying to say, like, don't vote for Kamala because fascism is already here in America, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I know you don't know because you're young. And then those of you that aren't young, I'm like, you were fucking here for 2016. Why are you spouting the same shit again? We ran this rodeo once. We don't have to run it again. You should know better. You're old. You should know better. You're fucking old. Maybe you believe the children are the future. Maybe you just want to, like, impress children. But you know better. You're old. Did the first Trump presidency radicalize enough people? No, it just turned everything to fucking shit. It just normalized white supremacy on like a crazy fucking level. It normalized armed militias. That shit used to not be normal. Even if they were conscious when Trump was president, they weren't an adult who had known a before time. So when they're like, yeah, the US has always been fascist, I'm like, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. The Democrats, I made a video about DOD Directive 5240.01, and I just have to say, the Democrats are not full-blown fascists, okay? The Democrats are choosing a horribly authoritarian response to a fascist threat, which is these armed militias that are trying to guard ballot boxes to stop illegal immigrants from voting. They fucked it up in Arizona. That's what this is. Somebody popped off early in full tactical gear. Because you know what it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be just white men with a pistol that they flash. Just a bunch of dudes hanging out by their car, near the ballot box, maybe drinking a little bit, but they got open carry in the state, and they just gotta flash their belt. They don't even have to do anything directly. They'll just pretend they're going for a cigarette. You see that gun? They give you a look. Are you gonna drop that ballot? You don't look like the people we want putting ballots in there. Do you wanna try? And okay, that's how white supremacists used to do voter suppression. And now they just have full-blown assault rifles and are wearing fucking tactical gear. They're ready for a literal war. You think I'm a fucking op because I'm like, hey, guess what? This is actually like a lot less fascism. And you're like, how can there be less fascism? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, there can be. There literally can be less fascism, okay? And if the left can fucking manage to work the Democratic Party like the far right worked the fucking Republicans, baby, we can do something. We can actually do something here. It's like the Democrats can't do shit unless we vote for them. You're like, I want you to do things you can't do right now, but you could do in like 3 weeks. I won't even vote for you for the possibility that you'll actually do those things in 3 weeks. I'm just going to throw the election to a man who said he wants to round up the radical left because they're the enemy within.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
That is not normal. That is terrifying. And why the fuck can't you see that that's a problem? Why do you want to experience that so bad?
This is all I've got from this video, and the truth is that I do not have any problem with this man saying that he wants to vote for Donald Trump. But where I have problem is dragging his ancestors into it. I really, sincerely speaking, I don't know how educated he is, but sometimes you see people that going to school sometimes it does not also make you educated, because I have also seen people that went to school, but they are absolutely zero upstairs, right? Man, really, this man is really unbelievable, sincerely speaking. I am really trying so hard to wrap my head around all this, and it is still very hard for me to wrap my head around this. See, let me tell us something. People like this are very, very dangerous to Black community. Why? Because this kind of people will watch you bleed and not help you. Why? Because they feel you have the same political view and all that. And I keep saying this, it's okay to have different political view and still be reasonable, right? Nobody's asking you not to vote for whoever you want to vote for, right? But please stop coming online to look for a way to drag Black people into your stupidity or into whatever you are doing. Because I know your daddy, according to you, say your daddy was almost, they try assassinating your daddy. I mean, and you cannot stand it, or how can that happen? Man, you are a big bunkum. I don't know how to, but then you might not understand what I meant by bunkum, but that is what he is, And what did he mean by people, where he lives, where they should stop going to the store to steal? Why? Because he was almost profiled. Why? Because, he used the N-word, that they are going there to, woo! These are some people's brother. But then there is something I found out, there is something that I was able to pull out while doing the research. I found out that he's also dating a white man, a white woman, which I also do not have problem with. But it looks like some people, when they start dating some kind of people, their senses are lost, and he is also part of the people that I feel like his senses were taken away, or maybe there is something that needed to be done on him, or he needs to be worked on. Because how can you even not like yourself so much? You can see it's written all over him that he does not appreciate himself. So how do you expect someone like this to appreciate you when he is not okay with himself? This is absolutely, absolutely unbelievable. Sincerely speaking, absolutely unbelievable. But it is what it is. I don't know what to even say, but I am trying so hard to pass a message across. But man, this one is really I don't know if I am in shock. Not like I have not been saying something like this. I have absolutely been saying something like this. But there is a limit to things that I say. And thinking that a full-grown man, he's such a young man, thinking that he will have sense and, he doesn't have sense. I'm sorry to say that, but that is how it is. When I say he does not have sense, it has nothing to do with his him supporting whoever he is supporting. It is okay to support whoever you are supporting, but where I am kind of not comfortable is where he dragged black people. I mean, black people into it, and also stereotyping black people, right? But then when you look at him, you absolutely will find that like, he has this palm white supremacist mentality, or like, those people that are already proximity to whiteness and they think that are absolutely white. Because why would someone that look like me come out to stereotype me? That is just where I am very, very sad at, Feel free to do whatever you want to do when it comes to your vote. It is your right. Use it the way you want. But please leave black people out of it. Enough of all this bullshit, because you all are like disgracing yourselves. Like, this really shows, like, this is also part of the things black women are screaming about. This is it. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.